Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. You know, in all my years in law enforcement and since I've left the field, all my years in supporting our rights, very, 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 very rarely do I come across a decision, or even more rare than that, come across a judge that routinely makes decisions that make me fall in love. I love this judge. And you should too. Stand by. So the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands are a territory, a U.S. territory that's in the South Pacific Sea. Very small group of islands. I didn't even know they existed until last April. I read about an instance, actually a law, where they passed a $1,000 per gun excise tax and a whole bunch of other crap. And they're in the news this week, but it's not for something crazy like in April. It's for something very wise, very constitutional, and this judge, like I said, I'm in love. Chief Judge Ramona Magalona. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, but she actually destroyed 4 acts of gun control that made it to her bench that were instituted by the islands. The first was a handgun registration. The second was a ban on assault weapons. The third was a ban on public carry. And the fourth is the aforementioned $1,000 per gun excise tax. Now, even though that the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands is a U.S. territory that's run by the United States, they have had a handgun ban for 40 years, until Judge Magalona killed them, that is. Now, the law that was enacted, I'm going to get the title right, a Special Act for Firearms Enforcement, it put in sweeping gun control across the Commonwealth. But Paul Murphy, a U.S. Army veteran who lives as a resident in the islands, challenged this ban. Now, Murphy challenged this law after he had received a firearms collector license in the Commonwealth, but had a rifle and a handgun confiscated by their Department of Public Safety. So, feeling that his rights were violated, obviously they were, he fought the law, and thank you, sir, for doing so. I don't know how many people live there, but they all owe a debt of gratitude to you. Now, I will have a link to that crazy law in this description, as well as a link to this 55-page decision that was put out by the judge. In this decision, she destroys all 4 of these prongs of the gun control law. The first that she destroyed was the handgun registration scheme. In essence, she said, and I'm paraphrasing, that's because so few municipalities in the United States have instituted a gun registration, she can't see how that would be presumed lawful and constitutional. So that she killed. Next, she went after their assault weapon ban. As you know, if you live here in the mainland and you've watched this channel, numerous states have enacted their own gun control acts or assault weapon bans that basically mimic the federal ban that is no longer there because it went through its sunsetting phase. Now, a lot of the similarities are, telescoping stock, thumb hole stock, flash suppressor, pistol grip. Those all typically make a semi-automatic rifle an assault weapon in these crazy definitions. Well, this judge destroyed that as well. And how did she do that? She said that stray bullets are a concern for everybody, and a pistol grip or a thumb hole grip or a flash suppressor, or an extending telescoping stock, all in effort make the gun more accurate. And as such, those should not be banned because they help make stray bullets less likely. Can you see how happy that makes me? Next, she went after the public carry ban for the islands. I love her. What the judge said was that the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution secures the right to keep and bear arms and to carry them for self-defense. And because this ban stopped that based, regardless of whatever level of scrutiny they wanted to use, it was unconstitutional. Love it. Then the judge went on to attack the $1,000 per firearm excise tax that they instituted in April. And her reasoning is unbelievable. I mean, this common sense stuff should be sweeping the country instead of the, party line agenda. But what she said was that most guns online typically sell for $250 to $750 on average. And to institute a tax that in sometimes is more expensive than the value, than 3 times the value of the weapon, that it didn't make any sense. And because the minimum wage on the islands was $6.05 an hour, that it would take somebody more than a month of working full-time just to pay the excise tax on their firearm, let alone get the money to pay for the gun. Then I'll read her quote. The court agrees with Murphy that the tax places an excessive burden on the exercise of the right of law-abiding citizens to purchase handguns for self-defense without a corresponding important government interest. Accordingly, the law cannot stand. The government need not arm the poor, but it cannot impose uncommon burdens on their ability to exercise their fundamental constitutional rights. Now, how many times have you heard any judge anywhere in this country say that? And when they do, they typically fall asleep with a pillow on their face. Now, while she decimated and eviscerated this gun law, this anti-gun law that they had in the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, she, not all was a victory. She did leave intact the 10-round magazine ban because that 11th round makes you a crazy clown assassin. She also left in place a safe storage requirements, as well as the fact that all gun owners need to be licensed properly. Now, this judge did her job. She took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States at all costs. And bravo, you did your job. Not 100% of the gun owners are going to agree with the magazine ban, the safe storage, and the licensing. But they're going to love the fact that you just decimated the other 4 prongs of that law. Now, the law that was overturned, there'll be a link in the description. Her 55-page evisceration of it is in the description as well. And anything else I can find relative to the case, I'll put down there for you if you want to read it on your own. Thank you for your time. I love it when the Second Amendment wins. I love it when freedom rings. And I want to thank you guys for joining me. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a weapon. Take care.